got it कर देंगे.
Good afternoon, madam. Am I audible, madam?
It's audible. Please reply.
Yes, sir.
You are audible.
You are audible, sir.
Good afternoon, Manoj sir. Namaste, sir. Dr. Barik, sir.
Namaste. Very good afternoon, everyone.
Sir, कैसे हैं sir आप?
बढ़िया बढ़िया.
Okay, sir.
Seeing you after a long time.
Sir, I'm introduced that.
Minimize कर लीजिए. Yeah, you can.
Yes.
Slideshow में डालने.
Full screen.
Good afternoon to all of you. My warm welcome to Dr. Manoj Mishra, Professor in Chanakya Law College, Patna. He has come all the way from Patna. And Dr. Pramod Mishra from Hyderabad, he has joined online. Also, I welcome Dr. Barik, who is external supervisor of Mr. Sumit Mishra. Unfortunately, we are missing him. He is joining online. So with your permission, I'll ask Sumit to start his presentation. Also, I welcome the scholars of ICFA University. With your permission, Dr. Pramod and Dr. Manoj Mishra, I'll ask Sumit to present.
Please proceed, madam.
Yes, Sumit.
Thank you so much, Rugna ma'am. Good afternoon to the Honorable Vice Chancellor of ICFA University, my research guide, Dr. Bhagwat Bari, all the senior faculties present in this presentation, and particularly the external examiners, Pramod sir and Manoj sir. I extend my very warm good afternoon to you, all of you, and I thank you for giving me this opportunity to present my PhD thesis presentation in front of you all. So the topic of my PhD study is a study of online shopping behavior of rural consumers. So I will just start with the introduction part. And I will start with importance of study, that why I chose this study. This is because my study is revolving around the online shopping behavior and particularly of rural consumers. So why online shopping behavior? Because it is all prevalent, it is gaining popularity worldwide, and now it has extended its footprints to the rural patches of our country. So online shopping, as everybody is aware, that it is very convenient, it is very time saving, it offers a broad range of products, and it offers very, very affordable pricing as compared to the offline retailing. So these are the factors. It has gained popularity, and the rural population, it is very significant in numbers, And still 68% of India's population is residing in the villages. And everyone now is aware of the potential of the rural market and the huge untapped potential, which offers a great deal of marketing exploration in the rural areas of the country. Now, the motivation of my study. The motivation of my study is that as the internet penetration has risen in the last decade due to the digital revolution and many initiatives taken by the government also. So they are offering a very promising market for the marketers, for the product offerers. And this topic becomes very relevant because it can it has the ability to close the digital gap, the digital divide, and contribute in the economic growth of the country. Now, I will go with the rural definition. There are various definitions given by various bodies, Census of India, which says that the minimum population should be, the maximum population should be less than 500. Population density should be 400 square kilometer. And the RBI, defines that any location which has the population of 10,000. And likewise, the NABARD and Planning Commission has also given their definitions. Now, if we, I have also taken into consideration the pastel analysis of the rural environment with the political, economic, social, technological, and legal environment. And I will particularly talk about this economic, that the eNAM platform of the government, they provide a unified national market for agricultural commodities. The evolution of rural marketing can be divided into 4 phases. That prior to 1960s, the phase 2 from 60s to 80s, phase 3 from 90s to 2000, and phase 4 after 2000. And in particularly, we can discuss the phase 3 and phase 4, which are very, very important after the economic liberalization, privatization, and globalization, which has a huge impact on the rural market potential. Because after 1991, India has seen a remarkable development in the rural potential of the consumers, as well as the demand in the rural market, demand for the products in the rural market. And now, currently, in recent years, the digital revolution has created a huge potential in the rural areas. The major challenges in rural areas is due to the seasonal demand, as the income is dependent upon the monsoon, and a huge population is still dependent on agricultural activities. And still, the infrastructure is still under development, and although it has developed a lot in the last 2.5 decades, but still we have a long way to go in the rural areas in terms of infrastructure. There are very warehousing problems also. The market is scarcely located, and geographical spread is very vast. Also, the market research in terms of rural has still insufficient, and there is a lot of scope to go in terms of the research to be done in the rural markets. People in the rural areas, the consumers in particular, are very culturally sensitive, and there is a huge diversity in terms of culture and languages, which pose a problems for the marketers to cater. Now, online shopping, as we all know, the potential is huge, and By 2025, the Indian e-commerce market is expected to reach US dollar 111.4 billion, and by 2030, it could pass 350 billion. And there are several factors, and I have already mentioned about the Digital India program, which drive the growth of the rural area, and the dynamic growth of the rural sector. There's a lot of startups and new enterprises are now, they have burgeoned in the rural areas. And this is about the online shopping of the rural consumers, how they are shopping, and what are the challenges and what are the benefits they are getting from online shopping. So the growth of the rural is much more than that of urban. The rural consumer, they are very dynamic, they have distinct characteristics, their preferences and behaviors, they change according to the culture and the geography. And it is still untapped. The vast of the rural India is still untapped. And a lot of factors, they are still, they pose a challenge in front of the marketers, like lack of awareness, trust, infrastructure of the rural areas, and the delivery services, which is related to the infrastructure. And there are huge market opportunity for the marketers to develop new strategies to develop in the rural marketing arena. Now, coming to the review of literature part, I have done some extensive literature survey on the factors influencing the rural consumer behavior. So I have put a very, due to the time constraint and time limit on the slides, I have pointed out some important studies related to the factors. The first factor is product quality and variety. So the product quality is determined by the capacity to provide the larger and the stronger benefits than that of the competitive alternatives. And the personal factors, which are which comprises of demographic factors also, that education and gender are moderating, have a moderating influence on the demographic variables. Now, the promotional factors, in particularly in case of the rural area, the word of mouth promotion, the family members recommendation, and promotion in terms of price and warranty is very, very important. They have a very strong influence on the consumers. Social group, another important factor. They consist of the family members, co-workers, friends, team members, even social media influencers these days, and religious groups. So Pradeep Kashyap in his book, The Rural Marketing, has mentioned the reference group can be very important, who influence a lot in terms of informational and normative belongingness. Now, another important factor is the website feature, the website design, which comprises of the user experience, which could provide another level of user experience, and this should be very textual in terms of the rural customers, because it creates a lot of trust, and they can mitigate the risk factors also, the website features. Now, the major obstacles, problems in rural online shopping, and these could be related to the perceived risks, the payment related, because these days a lot of cyber frauds are cyber crimes, and in terms of financial are all pervasive. So the people get reluctant in case of doing online payments. Technological issues, so related to infrastructure of telecom and awareness of technology also. And now the product related, because in villages, the people do intense bargaining also, and they like to touch and feel the product. So more belief on the tangible products rather than the virtual products. They could be a major hindrance in terms of rural online shopping. And also there are, in case of distribution, there may be a possibility of threat. There may be some crime. So in the far-flung areas or in deserted areas. So, and another important obstacle is related to the personal issues of the customers, like lack of education and lack of technological education. Now coming to the perceived risk and trust, these are two important factors again, which I have included in this study. The perceived risk, which was originally given by Bayer, and it is a psychological subjective construct to explain the phenomena like brand loyalty and information seeking. And there are various types of perceived risk, which are financial risk, privacy risk, product risk, physical risk, psychological risk, and social risk. I have discussed in the previous slide most of these risks. And now trust, another important factor is trust. And it is a psychological, according to Deshmukh, it is a psychological condition in which one intends to accept vulnerability based on favorable expectation of the intentions or actions of another party. Patricia Beauty and Bhattacharya and Venkatesh Shankar concluded that three components of trust are benevolence, competence, and integrity. Now, these are some of the gaps which we have found after the extensive literature survey. And it says that it goes like this, that there is a limited research on how wide geographical spread, limited accessibility, infrastructure issue of social safety and security affects the online purchasing habits. Limited study on trust variables that affect the online purchasing behavior. And rural consumers' internet shopping behavior may be influenced by cultural variations. So there is a little variation, little research on this subject. Now there is another limited study on the website design which impacts the rural consumers. And also there is limited study in how the marketing methods affect the rural consumers' online buying behavior. Now coming to the research methodology part, the research problem statement for this study is what are the factors that influence online shopping behavior among rural consumers and how do these factors affect consumer behavior when shopping online. The study also investigates how businesses can develop effective marketing strategy and offer the products that better meets the needs of the rural consumers. Now, the objective of the research, the first objective and the primary objective is to study the factors that will influence the online shopping behavior among rural consumers. The second objective, to examine the relationship between other marketing factors. The other marketing factors are market, personal, social, and environmental. And to investigate the impact of perceived risk and trust on online shopping behavior among rural consumers. Now coming on to the hypothesis. So these are the alternate hypotheses. So this is a significant, first one is there is a significant difference between frequency of purchase by consumers.
Tell me, they are alternate hypothesis or null hypothesis?
They are alternate hypotheses.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. I haven't mentioned it because it was guided from some internal examiners to mention the alternate hypothesis. I have mentioned that in thesis, not in this presentation. I have mentioned both the hypotheses in thesis. So there is a second hypothesis, there is an association between gender of consumers and online shopping decision of rural consumers. Third is there is an association between age and online shopping of rural consumers. Fourth one is there is an association between education and online shopping. Fifth one is there is association between income of consumers and online shopping. And fifth one is there is significant impact of market factors like product and promotion on the online purchase decision of rural consumers. Now, this is the conceptual framework which I have designed after the literature review and finding out the gaps. So there are market factors which comprises of the 4 P's, and in terms of rural consumers, the 4 is acceptability, affordability, availability, and awareness. And buyers' personal characteristics, which comprises of personal, psychological, and social. And third one is environmental factors, which comprises of economics and beliefs. And these lead to the purchase intention, which is influenced by perceived risk and trust. And finally, they form the purchase decision of the rural consumers. Now, the data collection method and sampling. So data collection was the primary data was collected through a structured questionnaire directly from the respondents, and secondary data was from various journals, books, magazines, conference proceedings, presentations, government reports, and publications. The sampling, coming to sampling design, the population is the rural internet users who were doing who were eligible. The rural internet users of Jharkhand who were eligible to participate in this study. The sampling technique was convenience sampling followed by snowball sampling method. And sampling unit was the 4 districts of Jharkhand state who have a rural population of above 85% and rural literacy of above 60%. Now coming to data collection method, it is continued. Size of the sample was 384 based on the Cochrane's formula. Where P is the proportion which was considered as estimated proportion, which is %. And on that basis, we were able to come to the sample size of 384. Now, the data collection method, the sample breakup, how the sample was breaked up. So, we have taken the 4 criteria of selecting the district that its population should be more than 1 million. The area should be 4,000 square kilometers. Rural population should be 85% of the total population, and the rural literacy level should be 60% of the total literacy level. Should be more than 60%. And on the basis of the rural population to the total population of all these 4 districts, in that proportion, we have divided the number of samples for each district. So in case of Palamu, it becomes 110. In terms of Gumla, it is 80. In terms of Giridih, it is 132. And in terms of Gumla, it is 62. We have done a pilot study of 60 respondents. In that case, we did because that was very initial stage, and we took 15 each samples from all the 4 districts, and we did a reliability test in which the Cronbach alpha came, reliability score was 0.81. The data analysis, the data was cleaned by editing, coding, and treating for outliers, and have used the software MS Excel and SPSS, and of course MS Word also. Frequency tables were used for composition of samples according to demographic profile and for the descriptive statistics. And following measures were employed for the data analysis: the simple percentage, mean, standard deviation, t-test, chi-square test, Kruskal-Wallis H-test, ANOVA, factor analysis, and principal component analysis. Now coming to the results, discussion and conclusion. 5 primary components were formed by reducing the dimensions of the different indicators. And these five factors, the five components were the personal benefits, product, promotion, social group, and website features. In which the personal benefit has negative influence on online purchase, social group has negative, product has positive, promotion has negative, website features have positive on the online shopping behavior of rural consumers. And perceived risk is influenced by factors like lack of acquaintance, concerns about product quality, fear of financial loss, and the trust factors which the rural consumers look for are the positive reviews, the safe payment gateways, and the company reputation. These are some of the justifications for the acceptance or rejection of hypothesis. So here I have mentioned the null hypothesis. So there is the first one is there is no significant difference between frequency of purchase and the consumers of selected blocks. So in this case, the p-value here is less than 0.05. So the null hypothesis is rejected. The second is the null hypothesis. There is no association between gender of consumers and online shopping decision of rural consumers. Here also, the p-value is less than 0.05. And these results are validated by value of Kramer's V, which is 0.337. So this suggests a relationship between gender and frequency of online shopping. So again, the null hypothesis is rejected. And third hypothesis, again, no association between age and online shopping behavior. And here also the p-value is less than the 0.05 value. So the null hypothesis is rejected. Fourth one is there is no association between education and online shopping. And here also the p-value is less than 0.05. So null hypothesis is rejected again. And now coming to the next hypothesis, fifth one, there is no association between income and online shopping. And here also the p-value is less than 0.05. So null hypothesis is again rejected. And the sixth one is there is no significant impact of market factors, product and promotion on online purchase decision. And that is the frequency of online shopping of rural consumers. And here also, here we have done the factor analysis. And here all these variables, they comprised of 44 variables. And in factor analysis, 14 were deleted because their factor loading value was less than 0.6. So the 30 factors and these 30 factors were encapsulated into the 5 principal components, and which are personal benefits, product, promotion, social group, and website features through further dimension reduction.
You have the plot for this?
Yes. Not in presentation, it is there in thesis. But I can show here in thesis also, if you wish.
Continue.
Hypothesis test results in this hypothesis number 6, the personal benefits. Again, on basis of the significance level, null hypothesis is accepted. Social group, null hypothesis is accepted. In terms of product, null hypothesis is rejected. In terms of promotion, null hypothesis is accepted. And in terms of website features, null hypothesis is rejected. Now, these are the limitations. The data collected from rural online consumers are subject to recall bias. The present study is limited only to the rural online consumers in Jharkhand state. And the research study is limited to a data collected over a period from October 2021 to March 2022. Because there could be, since this field is related to, my study is related to technological advancements. So there may be some technological advancement related to some data after my data collection period. Now, this is the conclusion part, that 5 crucial dimensions have been framed after thoroughly examining all the factors affecting the rural purchase behavior. And these 5 factors are product, promotion, social group, website features, and personal benefits. the research emphasized the importance of personal benefits as a critical factor in rural consumers.
Rajesh, please mute your audio. You continue.
The personal benefits is a critical factor influencing the rural consumers' internet buying behavior, and decision-making process was influenced mostly by time and convenience features of internet buying. Rural consumers gave significant weight to product quality, authenticity, and relevance to their unique needs. And in this thesis, we have examined a lot of different topics, which are being the influence of social groups on rural residents, that family relationship, community influence, and peer recommendations, they shape the consumer preference. Now, these are some of the practical implications of this study. This study addresses a significant gap in the literature by clarifying the complexities of internet purchase behavior in rural location and advanced understanding of consumer behavior in range of contexts. So businesses can create focused strategies to cater to unique requirements and preferences of rural consumers. And I have already mentioned these 5 components. So digital inclusion, advancement, and small companies interested in going for online ventures, they may be also able to unleash the e-commerce potential to propel socio-economic development in rural communities, because due to recent startup culture, which is very much burgeoning in the whole of the country and particularly in rural areas also. Then perceived risk factors among rural consumers, such as the lack of technological familiarity and worries about the quality of products, that they may see a different kind of product and may receive a different product, and also the fear of financial loss due to cyber security issues. They have additional practical implications. So this ends my presentation, and these are some of the publications which I have done in the related research areas and some presentations in conferences. And I have qualified UGC NET in management also during my PhD study also. So this has benefited me a lot. So thank you so much.
Yes.
प्रमोद जी से पूछिए कुछ क्वेश्चन.
Yes, Dr. Pramod.
Yeah.
Yes,
thank you
Pramod
very-
sir.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank
Yes,
you, Mr.
sir.
Sumit. Are you able to hear me?
Inputs.
Are you able to hear me?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you,
Yes,
Mr.
yes.
Thank you, Mr. Sumit, for a detailed presentation. I have shared my report, last month or last month. Can you please, throw some light on those queries
In fact,
and your
previous practices,
reports for those queries, please.
previous practices have been the presentation starts with the questions that have come. Ma'am knows that. You have not done that.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
No, I have done that, but I
Skipped it.
yeah, I skipped that.
Why? Nobody told me to skip that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Can you please,
Discuss
can you
it.
please quickly go through all of them? Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You can briefly talk about it, Mr. Sumit.
Yes, sir. Sir, you have queried in case of conceptual model about how it is different from that of Kotler's model and what variables have been taken from various theories and various models which I have mentioned in my literature review, and particularly the TRA, the TAM, and the usage and gratification theory. So that's a very insightful question, and My
Okay.
answer to
Can you
this
go
will
to
be that
Can you go to
Yes, sir.
question number 2? That says in some cases you have tested the reliability, but in some cases you did not. Can you just go through that? Question number 2, second part. Yeah.
no, yes, sir, you are true. And thank you for pointing out. I have done the reliability of all those points which you have mentioned, but I didn't mention that in my thesis, and now I have mentioned that in my.
Did you address?
Yes,
Did you address it?
I did that.
Case that you have addressed.
Yes, I have addressed it.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Now
now
they are part of the thesis.
the next question is question number 4. You spoke about the risk factor and the trust. So where did you address it in the thesis? Can you please throw some light on that?
I did that in my thesis. I did address that in my thesis, sir.
Can you just show the hypothesis that you have tested with respect to those variables?
No, I didn't frame the hypothesis on this perceived risk and trust. I didn't did a test wasn't done.
That is your objective number 3.
Yes, sir.
Can you go to objective number 3?
Yes, sir. That is the objective, sir. You're right.
That is your objective number 3. And the risk and the perceived, perceived risk and the trust. These are the 2 important aspects.
See, what sir is saying, let me explain to you. There has to be a continuity between your objective, your questions that you frame, and the hypothesis that you make. That has to be in continuity. It's one research.
Right.
So how can you drop something which is there in your objective? That is the point he's making.
Right. I did an extensive study and did a survey, but I didn't tested it.
How did you do it?
I collected
Literature review only? Secondary research only?
through secondary research. I did primary research also, but
What was your research
I
methods? Which method do you apply?
through questionnaire, and I framed the questions on a Likert scale, and I collected data also. A statistical tool I didn't employ it in this regarding this objective.
This objective, you did not employ any statistical tool. You just collected the data.
Data and
How did you come to a conclusion? You did not employ any statistical tool. How did you come to any conclusion?
descriptive statistics is there.
Descriptive statistics.
Yeah. Descriptive analysis is used. I'm sorry.
Inferential.
Descriptive analysis is used.
You have used a,
Descriptive analysis.
you have not used statistical tool,
Yes.
but you have used descriptive analysis.
Yes.
So this is one of your major objectives in the thesis, and I didn't find much about the analysis with respect to the perceived risk and the trust. I just raised it, so you're supposed to complete it actually. Okay, so let us move to the next question.
Continuity, because of the time lag.
Question number 5. You spoke about the confirmatory factor analysis. Why did you do that? Go to question number 5.
Yes, sir. Initially, sir, I was thinking of doing the confirmatory factor analysis, but I didn't did due to some reasons, and I have now I have corrected that. I have done a factor reduction from with SPSS.
Factor analysis, but actually for the confirmatory factor analysis, I didn't find any evidence. But you have mentioned somewhere.
No, sir, yes, sir. I mentioned I have to delete that.
One place just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Sir, just
Now
1 minute.
Sir,
Occupied.
go ahead, sir.
He's occupied with something. Let's
Sir, you
wait
can
for a
just
few minutes
I'll just
before he comes.
join in a minute, sir. Please continue.
Fine. this is one point that I had also pointed out, that there is a, that flow and the continuity which should be there in a research, possibly because, you are doing it for some time, then there's a time gap. That stop and go arrangement is evident in your work. This is a big issue with your work. Final output.
Pointed out very rightly, sir, because I faced COVID and 2 times lockdown also.
Yes, that all
Yes, sir.
does it to the research. Being practical, I understand that, but though that problem is there. Another issue which I found and which I find in practice is that when you talk of the definition of rural people, it's fine that you have certain definitions, some people fit, some people do not fit. But the fact and the reality is that same person can now, first of all, the village is deserted. The Oliver Goldsmith's poetry has come true. There is nobody in the village now. And those who are there, they commute from some town or the city, and people are, even the rural population is fully aware of what is going on elsewhere. And that bridge is kind of merging. Rural and urban population bridge is merging. Didn't you find those difficulties when you were doing your research?
Very right, sir. Because in terms of address also, many people, they have house in village and a house in the nearby district headquarters also.
Yes.
And they work as hub and a spoke location.
Yes.
And
All that should have been mentioned. Those problems should have been there.
right.
And they are also catalyst in transforming e-market, the rural market. I have one relative who retired and he now lives in the village, and he is continuously ordering from E because he was used to doing it here. He continues there also. Delivery is not a problem.
Delivery is now not a problem. Yes.
Now not a problem.
Yes.
Earlier it was.
Yeah.
Earlier it was. Now they have realized there is a good market there and it makes sense to make deliveries. So they are making deliveries of everything.
Yes.
So those are the issues that you had to
Definitely.
address. Come back to your questions. You should have started with this. This is our pattern and this is the way we.
I have mentioned that in start.
Yeah, it is there in the starting beginning, but why you skipped it, you can explain. Increase the size, the font size is also too small. I can see hardly anything. You should have PowerPoint basic norm should be the font size should be. Even default font sizes are 35 and 70.
Yes.
You have got 10 and 11. How can we read?
I will read it for you. Which point you want to? First one or the.
Sir,
Read
with
it,
the
it defeats the
permission, can you
purpose.
proceed, sir?
Yeah, please proceed. We are waiting
Thank
for
you, sir. So that CFA part, though you have mentioned, but you hardly addressed it. Sumit,
उनके पास PPT शेयर किया हुआ है.
please keep that in mind. And in point number 5 again, table number 4.69 in page number 210 of your thesis, you have used KS and Shapiro test. Normally, the null hypothesis is preserved because the value is less than 0.05. That means data do not show the normality. So maybe it will not be here in the presentation, but you can check in the thesis. So try to see to that. So expected probability is greater than 0.05. I don't know whether you have rectified there. So if the value is less than 0.05, you support the alternative hypothesis that says data have not been derived from the normal population, which is actually contrary to your argument. Okay.
I have rectified it, sir.
Anything would you like to say on that?
I have rectified it, sir.
He has rectified it. It is rejected the null hypothesis.
All
Your null hypotheses are rejected.
Okay. Now, in the same question, point number V, that is the fifth bit, homoscedasticity, normality, and multi-collinearity. These are the few things I didn't find much. What is your say on that?
Yes, sir, you are right. I will include that in my future research because I am not also very much aware of those things. But
The moment you talk about
You should
empirical
use
research,
things
these are
that you don't.
the moment you talk about the empirical research, these are the few things that will come on your way. You can't skip.
Yes.
Okay. Now the last question, that is, I think I have already raised it. So the perceived risk and the trust, they are the two important things of objective number 3. Somehow that is not very properly mentioned or maybe addressed in the thesis. So I think maybe you can probably think of those things in your future research. So I'm done, sir. Thank you very much.
Right.
You can please
Thank you,
take
sir.
over. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Please proceed, sir, if you have.
Yes.
What is expected from me, sir?
It's okay from your side.
I'm done, sir.
You are done, but
I
you are
will continue this
are
research.
proceeding with awarding him the degree.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So I think, ma'am, now we should proceed with the awarding of the degree. You go and tell so that sir comes online. वहाँ बोलना पड़ेगा ना.
Sumit, I have a doubt.
Please continue. Go ahead.
He
If
has
anybody has any further doubts, please.
You can never go for establishing normality of the data.
right, right, ma'am.
Sir.
Right, right.
And how can you want higher level statistics now? क्या apply किया है?
We apply here because it was suggested from many faculties. So I applied that. I have to test because data was not coming normal.
See, this is what ma'am is. Yes, you can't contradict.
Right.
There was a lot of contradictions.
Or the alignment between your research questions, research objectives,
Yes.
hypotheses,
Is missing.
technique, findings. Yes, sir.
See, this is not, this is a beginning. We are awarding you fine, but you should take it as a beginning. And on this, you should build research. You should understand where you are going wrong.
The basic
We understand,
fundamentals.
and as I said, this is mainly because, ma'am, of this break, do it, break, do it. That is what happens for,
But, sir-
when did you join
But
the
sir,
program?
2017.
I
another
agree
question
with you.
is, normality of the data should be established. Sir,
एकदम-
उसमें क्या है sir problem?
It's a big
Convenience.
theoretical error. What you
It's a
pointed out,
fundamental
is you have to see and adjust. Never use words and things, what you intend to do and what you have done. That gap should not exist. Anyway,
No, nothing else.
yeah,
Regarding
Just a little
a bit-
experience for.
yes, you should have used. It's very easy to use instead of convenience, some sort of a random sample method. Could have done
Even
that.
judgment sampling also
Yes.
could have been used. Sir.
Could have used, yes.
it was big.
Because for the purpose of your study, purpose is sampling, this will serve my purpose. So you have a justification, sir. Because snowball and convenience when they
You're right, my point. It was there because data was not coming normal. So I did a lot of things to make it normal.
Okay, final question. Who are the ultimate beneficiaries of your study? Are vendors or the consumers?
Both. Because vendors can develop a new strategies. The marketers and the vendors, they can develop new
How
strategies.
do consumers benefit?
Yes, consumers can benefit by consumers.
To go to the town and
No,
go
they-
physical.
They get
purchase.
cheaper products and products which they would
Fact
not
is-
usually have been able to buy, they can buy. There is a limitation to the rural market. They overcome that limitation. How they benefit us.
Sir, sorry to interrupt you. I have another meeting to attend. So can I
Just-
leave the?
Can you give us 5 minutes?
Yeah, please, sir, please.
VC sir is coming online. VC
Okay,
sir is
sir.
coming online.
Okay, sir.
I'm so pleased.
We have a skill development program going on in the UGC MMTTC. So
I can understand. I can understand.
thank you.
Okay, ma'am. So let us, sir has said, okay, he's not coming online. He's joining. Okay.
I am teaching. Earlier I was in industry. I have worked in ICICI Bank and HSBC Bank in Maharashtra. Abhi I am in Palamu and I am teaching in Ilambar Pitambar University, Palamu district.
Very good. Has joined. Who's the PPT?
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, good
Yes.
afternoon, sir.
sharing.
Please, yeah, please carry on.
Thank you,
Please.
sir.
Yeah, please carry on since I'm in a meeting here. So I may not be able to be present there, but please carry on. Thank you. Thank you
you,
for
sir.
being, thank you for being there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, you have to declare his PhD.
We have okayed it. Now you have to declare.
Yes,
And then-
I officially declare this PhD as concluded successfully by the candidate from ICFAI University, Jharkhand. My best wishes. My best wishes.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Mr. Sumit, and wish you all the very best.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing me in. Thank
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations to you also.
Ma'am.
Thanks, sir. Congratulations.
Thank you, madam. Thank you very much. First
Oh,
of
it was
thankful to VC sir, who has joined from online. I think sir is busy with some type of meeting, so could not join.
yes. I'm in a meeting here. I'm in a meeting. My best wishes. Thank you.
sir. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations to the candidate. And I am Dr. Abdul Sattar.
Congratulations, Mr. Sumit.
Barik sir, I am Dr. Abdul Sattar.
Thank you. Secondly, I'm very thankful to Dr. Manoj sir and Dr. Pramod sir. I think they have given a very brief insight of the research, and it's very advisable and learning for all of us. Though we are the supervisors, but still really a journey we have to carry. Thank you very much, Dr. Pramod sir, for your valuable suggestion. At least some of the basic concepts that we have raised. In fact, sir, I just want to tell you, we have tried to rectify that thing, but the data collection was a little bit problem. Though we have collected the data, but after this COVID, we could not recollect that one. But it was a good efforts from Mr. Sumit. And thank you very much, Manoj sir. You are always with my heart, sir, personally. You always give us the advice which touches the heart as a researcher. And we always remind sir your advice that sir has told these things and we should be do that things. There is no if and buts in that situation. Sir, I am thankful to the entire research fraternity of the ICFAI University Jharkhand, Honorable Vice Chancellor, respected Register sir, all my colleagues that have given impetus efforts to do the things. And I'm really thankful to ICFAI University. I found by sitting in Maharashtra, ICFAI University Jharkhand is doing a tremendous research. I've come across the many universities in Maharashtra, but the type of research we had done in ICFAI University Jharkhand, it is really commendable and tremendous. I expect that that type of research should carry out by ICFAI University Jharkhand. And all my scholars here have joined through YouTube. So I requested my scholars here, it's a good opportunity and you people should join through YouTube. And my all the scholars have now giving this compliment, sir. We are very much thankful to you. The way the ICFAI University Jharkhand is doing the PhD validations and the Viva examinations. Sir, I expect and I request you to continue the same type of journey for the ICFAI University Jharkhand. And whenever you need my support, sir, I'm always with you by online, by physically, wherever you need my support. Thank you, everybody. And thank you very much for giving this opportunity.
Okay, Mr. Sumit and Professor Bhagavat. Congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very
And
much,
Mr.
sir.
Sumit, all the very best for your future
Thank you.
research.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Chalo. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Raman sir. Nice meeting
Thank
you.
you. Right. Bye.
Thank
See you sometime physically. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. See you,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, shall I leave?
Madam, I would like to leave the meeting.
Please,
Ramna ma'am,
please, please.
thank you.
I am from Kasaragod, Kerala. Shall I leave?
All the best,
I want to-
Sumit.
Now you can.
Sir, madam, can I leave the meeting, sir, with your permission?
Yes, yes, please.
Yes.
Please, please.
Thank
Disconnect,
you,
ma'am.
thank you, madam. Thank you.
Conclude the meeting. Conclude the meeting
वहां से होगा।
from the Zoom.